If you told me 2 years ago that I would be able to go from door dashing to spend money on inventory to making $500,000 reselling name brand items on Amazon, I genuinely just wouldn't believe you. That was a situation I was in 2 years ago before I started Amazon FBA. And I see all these people always talk about how much money they're making, but I never see them explain what they fully went through in their journey or how they succeeded. Because with Amazon FBA, there's a couple of stuff that you're gonna need to know to actually succeed, to separate yourself from the people who might quit month 1 or month 2 and become one of those people that actually replace their full-time income with Amazon FBA, because it is very much possible in 2025. There's gonna be some stuff that you're gonna need to know in your journey to expedite the process. And in this video, I'm gonna be explaining that. The first thing you're gonna need to do is you're gonna need to go wide on inventory, right? You don't know what a profitable product looks like, right? You're trying to learn how to use the softwares. What you're gonna need to do is don't ever go deep on an item, especially if you have limited capital. And another thing is you need another source of income at the start, because you don't have enough money, right, to make, you know, those thousands of dollars in profit, because you need thousands to spend money on inventory. If you're not old enough to leverage credit, or you don't have a good enough credit score, for me, it was just door dashing, right? I didn't want to have a boss. You could get a day job or anything, but for me, I just wanted my freedom, right? I wanted to, DoorDash kind of made me feel like my own boss, because I was door dashing the lunch rush and I was door dashing the dinner rushes. So I knew when I was gonna work, and then I would get that money and I would spend it on inventory and I would profit with that inventory. So I was 2xing my money every single time because I was doing retail arbitrage. For beginners, I do recommend retail arbitrage, because when you're sourcing products online, there's gonna be a bigger learning curve. So there's more pieces to the puzzle, discounted gift cards, taxes. There's so many things that you're gonna need to learn. I teach it all on my YouTube channel, by the way, but you're gonna need to watch it a couple of times. You're gonna need to use it a couple of times to actually find profitable products, and for that to be a sustainable part of your income. But retail arbitrage, especially these liquidation stores, Ross, they restock every week. You find the restock date, you go there, you speak to a manager, you're like, hey, I have a business where I resell name brand products on Amazon for the high. When do the trucks come? I'm willing to spend a couple hundred or thousands on inventory if everything matches up. Do you have some inventory for me? Most of those people, they're great people, and they'll let you just source. They'll let you source, they'll go in the back. I've had some great experiences with people. It's just gonna depend on people with your region, right? But retail arbitrage, for your first couple of thousands of dollars, you're going to need to hustle. That is the best way to start. That is the best way to get over that learning curve. That is the best way to get ungated with everything too. The next bottleneck that I see people kind of like fall off is ungating. I swear people just overcomplicate it for no reason. Ungating is one of the easiest processes ever. It's just basically, there's so many little tips that you're gonna need to know, but the overall concept is very easy. Ungating is just proving to Amazon that your inventory is legit and that you're getting it from an authorized supplier. So some ways to actually prove that your inventory is real: get a receipt, get an online receipt, get an invoice, and then submit that to Amazon. If they deny you the first time, that's okay. Sometimes Amazon auto denies, or they use AI, right? I've done with it multiple years. Submit it 3 to 4 to 5 times. If that doesn't work, change the name of the document. If that doesn't work, open up a case with them. So there's people that quit without even going through these steps, and I'm just like, you can't quit the business model if you haven't went through this. So having another side of income and getting ungated is gonna be super important. The next thing I would say is just showing up every single day for you and your business, right? A lot of people treat it like a side hustle. They do it like a couple of hours on the weekends, and they end up getting side hustle results. And that's the main issue. If you treat it like a side hustle, you're gonna get side hustle money. You're gonna get side hustle results. Making sure that you're putting in hours like it's a daytime job, 9 to 5. When I was starting, I was obsessed. I had this dopamine rush that I was building something. I wasn't working for somebody else. So I was getting up in the morning. I was sourcing products, I was packaging it up, right? I would take a nap, start sourcing it again, spend money on inventory, do some retail arbitrage, 5 o'clock, drop the orders off at the post office, go to the gym every single day. And I would do that. And every single day, I would learn something. I would keep growing. Every single day, I would try to learn a new piece of information, a new way to get leverage over the other competition. I was trying to grow. If you don't have that growth mentality, you're gonna get kind of left behind, right? If you're not networking with people, if you're not joining free Discord communities, if you're not investing into yourself, you're gonna get left behind for the people that are willing to do that. And also, if you're a procrastinator trying to get into online, I'm not even saying Amazon. If you're a procrastinator trying to get into online business, and I would fix that first. If you can't commit and dedicate yourself to something, you're not gonna make it in online business. If you can't let's just say you've been trying to go to the gym for a while now, and you can't go 5 times a week or 6 times a week, and you're trying, and that's something that's on your mind, you just can't manage to be consistent with that, there's no way you're gonna do online business, right? One thing I wanna tell you you guys is that online business isn't for everyone, right? This is something they won't tell you because they're trying to get money from you. They'll sell you the dream, they'll sell you the shovel when they know that you're probably not gonna make it. I've taught over 100 people how to start and scale their Amazon business, so I can kind of tell who's not gonna make it and who isn't. The people with these characteristics, I don't even let them in my program because I know they're not gonna be successful. These type of people, they have a short-term vision. Having a short-term vision is one of the worst things you could do in your Amazon business because you're never gonna build anything long-term. You're not gonna build anything that's sustainable, because if you're thinking about just making a quick buck, a quick profit, you're never gonna invest into yourself. You're never gonna build systems out for your business. You're never gonna get to that second level because you're thinking like a hustler. You're not thinking like a business owner. You have to go into this thinking, I'm going to build a business for myself for the next couple of years that's gonna cash flow money, and I'm going to build systems to where I'm working 9 to 10 to 11 hours right now, but in the future, I'm gonna delegate some of these tasks. I'm gonna get so good at these little tedious tasks that I'm going to only be working 2 to 3 hours and still be making a lot of money. That is the goal. And if you go into this with a mindset of, oh, I'm just a hustler, I'm just gonna make ClickBox, oh, Amazon is tripping for doing this, then guess what? You're probably not gonna make it. And that's just the reality of this situation. And that was something that I was able to do at the start. It was just, I was a sponge. I was reaching out to people. I was absorbing as much knowledge as possible. I was trying to sneak into rooms of people that were just so much better than me. And even though I didn't know what they were talking about, I would just keep asking questions. I was being annoying. I was asking questions. And when I finally reached that stage, I was like, oh, X and X talked about this, right? I remember he was saying about this and he had a bad experience with this, like an IP complaint. I probably should avoid this, right? There's no right way to do Amazon FBA, right? The people that crush it the most are the people that innovate the most, the people that find different loops, different ways to find stuff at a cheap enough price, right? And if you're not innovating, if you're not showing up every single day for your business, you're probably not gonna make it. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys right now. You're probably not gonna make it. Another issue or bottleneck that I just see a lot of sellers face is they finally get some success, right? They hit the 10, 20, 30, even 30K months, right? Maybe a Q4. And they get complacent. The worst thing you can do is get complacent. You always have to be hungry because there's always another level that you can climb. 20, 30K months, if you're doing that after 3 to 4 months, you're in the wrong. You always have to be grown. Don't ever get complacent. I've seen people stuck 20K even now, a year and a half ago. They're complacent with being at the same spot that they were in last year. You guys should be pissed off if you guys do like 10K a month back to back to back. You should be going 12, 14, 50. Even slow growth is way better than no growth. You have to be planning to grow every single day. You have to be doing something, getting uncomfortable. A lot of these people choose comfort, and that's why they're in the same position. A good way to get uncomfortable is hiring a virtual assistant, because now you have overhead for your business. Now it's like, I'm paying this guy $300 a month. I have to spend money on inventory. I have to manage him right and make sure I teach him everything I know, or else I'm going to be wasting money. The best way, I don't care what anybody says, the best way to put more pressure on yourself and get uncomfortable and force yourself to get to that next level, manufacture it, is just put overhead on yourself. I don't care. Get that warehouse, get that prep center, get that software that costs $50 a month, get it, because that's gonna force you. You're not gonna have the choice. Do I wanna work anymore? Do I not? You have to work. You have to show up for your business. And that's gonna manufacture that momentum to keep you going forward on those days where you don't want to. I could go ahead and talk hours about everything to not do as a seller, but I don't want to overload you guys. Make sure you guys actually incorporate this when you're starting your Amazon business. Make sure you guys watch my other YouTube videos for free value on how to start and scale an Amazon business. If you guys want to book on a call to work with you one-on-one to see how we could start and scale your business, or just see how we could help you in general, I'm gonna leave a link down in the description. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.